The following program is a paid presentation for American Medicine Today. The information and opinions expressed are solely those of American Medicine Today and are not the opinions of the station, its affiliates, management, or employees.
Coming up on American Medicine Today.
We visit Evolve Personal Health, where Dr. Vim Patel shows us the latest in concierge medicine. Then we drop in on Terry Loudon to see how the Bonati spine procedures have given her a pain-free way of life. Finally, we speak with Dr. David Hirschauer from the Bonati Spine Institute about opiate usage among people in pain. Is there a way to ease the use of these highly addictive drugs? Find out coming up on American Medicine Today.
Featuring cutting-edge science and medical innovations, touching personal stories of recovery from pain, and political issues plaguing our healthcare. This is American Medicine Today. Brought to you by the Bonati Spine Institute and Alfred Bonati, MD.
Dr. Vim Patel is a board-certified physician specializing in concierge medicine. And he's going to show us around this state-of-the-art facility, which is taking concierge medicine to a whole new level. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Ethan.
Tell us how the whole idea of Evolve came about. It had to do with your previous medical experience, correct?
Yeah, my previous manifestation, I was a hospitalist doc, which in essence is a doctor that only works in the hospital. Only if you were really sick and needed to be admitted into the hospital would you ever encounter a doctor like myself.
This high-pressure environment often leads to burnout in even the best of physicians. Dr. Patel and his wife Chitra broke free of the traditional mold of medicine by designing a patient-centered practice, focusing on achieving good health and overall happiness.
So we have created Evolve Personal Health for our South Tampa population, simply to improve and be better.
So when you talk about being better, obviously you have this structured quite differently than the background you came from. Why don't you kind of describe what a typical day would be like for your patients?
This is patient-centric, first of all. So our patients have full access, complete autonomy into schedule, to visit. We have unlimited visits. They can come in as much or as little as they want. We decided to look at the patient from a multidimensional angle.
Their office has several departments that focus on different aspects of the patient's life: physical, nutritional, and introspective.
Dr. Patel is not only a medical doctor, but also a personal fitness trainer and health coach who will even visit a patient at their job to assess how they can strengthen physical ailments and limitations.
One of the other important aspects that we do here is we understand that it's not just physical manifestations, but disease and health can come about from the daily food that we eat here. So food is medicine.
Nutritionist Don Hans will not only create a balanced menu for each patient's individual needs, but also will act as a support system in times of crisis. We
have identified that we certainly need constant contact. If you're there and there is a cheesecake in front of you, ooh, that's tempting.
Yes.
And it's going to be difficult for you not to eat that cheesecake. But we have Dawn here who can simply text you in moments of crisis.
Eat it. Yes.
Don't eat that cheesecake. So we have constant communication with our patients. So in those moments that you certainly do need somebody to tell you, please don't have that cheesecake, Dawn is right there sitting next to you and saying,
she can be your conscience.
Absolutely.
It's like having
absolutely.
a sponsor in AA, you know?
Yes.
When you're feeling weak, you gotta call your sponsor, and Dawn's the food sponsor.
We have our 12-step cheesecake program
There you go.
that we have here.
I like it.
Dawn's approach is a more whole foods-based diet, which sustains good health over the long term.
And one of the keystones of the practice here, and which is not done in, I dare say, any medical practice, is our introspective counseling.
Chitra Prasad Patel is a certified life coach who helps patients overcome mental obstacles or daily pressures that impede their overall happiness.
Why couldn't we stop smoking, or what other pressures, work, life, that cause a blockage in us, that make us sick, that sometimes manifest into physical ailments? We try to address those problems and help our patients move towards better health.
Wow, so getting the stumbling blocks out of the way so you can have a more healthy existence.
We think that is not addressed in our current state of medicine, and we think that is such a key factor in getting our patients healthy.
We speak with introspective counselor Chitra Prasad Patel.
So we've taken two concepts, blended them together: meditation and life coaching and executive coaching. And together, this is what we call introspective counseling,
which is identifying and addressing areas of anxiety, depression, or stress.
Now, is this similar to a typical therapy, a therapist that you would go see? How is it different?
Well, life coaching itself is different in that we're not really addressing the past of why things are the way that they are. We're looking at your current resources and saying, okay, well, what can we do to take this and move further with it? And it is very solution-based, and there's accountability. So it's like, you come in here with a goal, you have homework, you meet it, and it's an ongoing relationship. And we put together your individual program, identify what your individual formula for happiness is, and then take the steps to work towards it. Our methodology really is having personal relationships, and we're seeing that people don't come here and have any sense of formality. It's just like, they're visiting their friends. Yes.
When you think of state-of-the-art, you tend to think of incredible technology. However, Evolve took a different approach, modernizing their environment by eliminating much of the electrical pollution we encounter daily, by filtering outlets and having all computers and devices hardwired with no running Wi-Fi or Bluetooth.
For us, state-of-the-art is more forward-thinking, progressive, modern, and we've designed it as such.
Very relaxing atmosphere.
Yeah, wasn't there also a little bit of modeling it after, say, museums or gardens and things like that?
Oh, yes, garden spaces. The Rothko Chapel was definitely an inspiration. There are places where we've been to that have just exuded this sense of calm. And so when people come here, one of the most amazing things is that they all are thinking about being better.
Unlike a traditional doctor's office, patients at Evolve find the atmosphere welcoming and a perfect place to disengage, stopping in for lunch or just to relax and escape the daily grind. They also have a massage therapist.
I also understand here at Evolve, you're also very heavily influenced in the community.
We create a community here, like, as we were talking about the Vim Chi concept, we have a scoring system, and the idea really is that our members are part of a community. They can see their different scores, they can talk to each other. It really becomes a motivating tool.
Evolve is also heavily involved in the Red Sand Project, which supports activist artwork created to raise awareness of human trafficking and modern-day slavery.
The private sector can do so much in the community, and if we encourage our members, each decision that they make, each sort of move in that direction can create real, tangible social change.
The Vim Chi philosophy employed at Evolve was created by the Patels from a play on their names.
There's almost sort of an Eastern philosophy to what you do here.
Absolutely.
You call it the Vim Chi philosophy. Now, is that because your name is Vim and it's like a Tai Chi, it's a play on that, or is that an actual thing, or is it your own philosophy? Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure, it is a philosophy that we came up with. Now, it's a play on words. My name is Vim, and my wife's name is Chithra, but Chi, and it's also the physical vitality, which is Vim, and the life force, which is the Chi, and we put those together. It's a philosophy where we take everything that's external, the physical, the ailments, and those things that are internal, and we try to have a good unity of both of them.
Evolve also hosts yoga classes and meditation sessions.
Anything that our patients kind of bring to us as to what they would like to see or what they would like to kind of explore.
Offering classes is just one more way they get involved with the community.
So we try to get our patients to be engaged, and if that means group classes to do yoga, great.
Dr. Patel even hosts and participates in free monthly 5K runs.
A healthy individual going out and touching a community makes the community that much better.
Unlike most traditional practices at Evolve, patients have full access to the facility and can schedule visits whenever they like.
Is this a membership based fee? How
Absolutely.
Is this structured?
We do not accept insurance, and we have a monthly membership fee. We deliberately keep it as a low volume practice so we can have intimate relationships with all of our members and patients here. The approach that any client or member wants to come with, be it counseling sessions or a doctor or participate in the runs or yoga, we certainly have different pricing structures where individuals can come and take a look and adjust to where their financial state is.
Dr. Patel's goal in opening Evolve was to remove all the red tape insurance companies tend to wrap around healthcare and really focus on building a relationship between the doctor and patient.
And the whole concierge idea is not necessarily new, but it's relatively new to a lot of people. We've covered it pretty extensively on the show, Kimberly.
Yes.
And I think that it's just such a novel, great idea to bring back that relationship between the doctor and the patient, because you're not focused on seeing as many patients as possible because you got to give a percentage to insurance. You can tone it down, see, you know, a handful of people, they pay a monthly membership fee, and it really brings back that doctor-patient relationship.
Right, so we deliberately try to streamline the process. We find a lot of hoops we have to jump through, and certainly I did when I was a doctor that did accept insurance. There are certain limitations and certain restrictions even on the patient side. So we tried to make that navigation of healthcare much easier for you.
Much
and
more
hopefully
accessible.
cheaper. Yes.
With their non-traditional approach to medicine, Evolve Personal Health continues to reinvent our perceptions of what a doctor-patient relationship should be. It's a great thing you have going here at Evolve Personal Health. Thank you so much for everything you do, Dr. Vim Patel.
It's our pleasure. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Ethan.
Make sure you stay tuned. Coming up after the break, our Back to Life segment. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect 98.75% patient satisfaction. 50,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Over half our patients have suffered from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
Terry Loudon is an animal rescue supporter and entrepreneur. She and her husband John enjoy completing projects around the house and traveling whenever possible.
I've been in Florida for about 15 years, originally from Northeast Ohio. I manage sales teams in call center environments. I also like to do gardening around here. Love Bichons and Bichon Rescue, so we support Small Paws Rescue. We have a yearly picnic for the Bichons, and that is a lot of work, a lot of energy, a lot of activity, and fast pace. So it's good to be able to move when you're doing those things.
But Terry lived for many years with pain in 2 areas of her spine that radiated outwards to other areas of her body, forcing her to slow down and reconsider those activities she loved doing.
On the cervical pain, I had a car accident probably about 12, 13 years ago, and they didn't think there was any damage from that right after the accident. And I don't know if that helped with it or if it's just a genetic thing. My brother had a lot of neck problems also. And it would feel on the neck, it would hurt to turn it a little, but it would mostly feel in my shoulders. It would feel like someone had hit me with a baseball bat. Doing any activity would tend to make that ache, so then I couldn't do anything for a while. My lower back, I used to stand up wrong and throw my back out of place. Don't know why, just how it happened. And that happened for probably 30 years. And so I dealt with that. I would throw it out of place at least once every year to 2 years. And from then it would be really difficult to move. I went to chiropractors, had massages. Can't do a lot with massages. I have fibromyalgia, so a massage hurts. The muscles just ache when I get a massage. So nothing was helping with that. With both the neck and the lower back, I would put ice on and take ibuprofen. And that was the only relief I would get.
She reached her tipping point when a trip to the chiropractor resulted in the worst pain she had yet to experience. But after seeing the results of her family members who had already undergone the Bonati spine procedures, she knew where she could turn to for pain relief.
The chiropractor had tried traction on me the last time I went, and the traction made it so much worse. It was good when it was happening, but then as everything started settling back in, it made the pain unbearable. And so at that point I had to do something else. And my brother and sister-in-law have both been to Bonati's, and they gave glowing recommendations. And so when it was time to seek treatment, that's where we went. The compassion and the care was amazing from every single person there. I never felt like anyone was impatient with me. I never felt like everyone or anyone wanted to hurry me through or didn't want the questions I would ask. Everyone at the Bonati Institute was fabulous. Dr. Bonati actually reviewed all of the MRIs with me, and that was really interesting. He would go through the different areas of the MRI, and he said, "Don't tell me, I'm going to tell you what's wrong with you and tell me if I'm correct." And so he did, and he hit a few points that I hadn't connected with my neck. Things like, he said, I bet you don't like riding in the car, that you complain a lot. And he looked at John and said, she complains about your driving, doesn't she? And he said, yes. And he said, that's this right here. That's what's causing it. And it was true. I get motion sick in cars, not nearly as bad now as I did prior to the surgeries. Didn't realize that all of those were part of having the nerves being pinched in my neck. So he went through every area. We talked about what the problems were, what the treatment would be, and did I think it was worth what we were going to have to do, and if the pain was bad enough, so that did I really want to have it fixed. So we went through all of it.
Using the conscious IV sedation technique, Bonati surgeons are able to speak directly with the patients during the procedures to ensure they are both comfortable and eliminating the exact source of pain.
I actually had gone in on one day to have all of the MRIs done and the consultation, and my first surgery was the following afternoon. So they got me in for the first surgery very quickly. The first surgery was really easy. I was awake, but I did talk to them. They wanted to know what I felt. They would hit the nerves that were being pinched, and you can tell immediately that that is a problem nerve, because the same pain that you would have going down my shoulders, I could feel when they would touch it. And they would clean up around it, so you could hear a little bit of what they were doing, but you could see it on the screen that you were looking at. So that was interesting to me, wasn't scary. Then after the surgery, went into the recovery, got my coffee. That was the first surgery. Dr. Lis Planels was my surgeon. And after that surgery, I did have a little bit of fun with him, teased him a little bit, so I made him a little nervous, thinking that maybe I had a twitch I didn't have before the surgery. But he has a great sense of humor, and everybody, all of the staff there was phenomenal.
Terry had 4 cervical and 3 lumbar spine procedures over 6 months in early 2016. But her recovery process was so easy, she vacationed out west between procedures.
The surgeries that I had, actually, I recovered very easily from, I would say. I actually went to work the following afternoon from each surgery, so I didn't take a lot of time off with it. I healed very well from them, had surgery about every 2 weeks or so before we went on vacation. So the surgery started in late January of 2016, and then in early April we went for an Army reunion and flew out to Phoenix, and then went to Las Vegas, and then up to the Grand Canyon, Utah, and had a fabulous vacation we had been looking forward to for over a year. That vacation was a lot more enjoyable because I didn't have the neck pain, didn't have shoulder pain, could move around, wasn't car sick when we were driving, and I attribute all of that to having the surgeries ahead of time. So the vacation that we waited so long for and looked forward to was really enjoyable.
In addition to her memorable vacation, Terry is now back to doing all the things she loves. She is free of pain and no longer fears pain may stop her from enjoying all of life's simple pleasures.
I'm able to now do the gardening, play pool, play with the Bichon. I can pick Tuffy up without wondering if I'm going to throw my back out of place when I stand up with him. I don't worry about doing things now that I used to be concerned. I used to be a little skittish about doing anything that required a lot of standing up, picking things up, or a lot of fast movements for fear of throwing my lower back out. I've not had any issues at all since I had the surgery. I have a business, Step Safe Sandal Strap, and I make sandal straps for the back of heelless or strapless sandals. It helps you walk easier with them. And I wasn't able to work on those products because sitting and working at a sewing machine would just make my shoulders and my neck ache. And so now I can sit there for hours working on it without a problem. My father has Alzheimer's, and so every time we spend with him is precious. So now we will actually pick him up and take him and walk around Baywalk, or go down by the pier and just have an enjoyable day with him. And now it's a lot easier. I don't have to worry about being in pain when I'm doing that. I don't have a problem walking, don't have a problem doing the gardening or playing with our Bichon. So the surgery's made a huge difference.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years. And it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results, no pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone. Nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new.
I can chase my grandbaby now, I can garden, I can cook, and I'm really thrilled. The outcome's been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact, I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
Thanks for continuing to listen to American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Bermel, joined by Ethan Euchre.
Glad to be here.
Jeff Wagstaff.
Yes, I am. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And sitting in for Dr. Bonati and joining us in studio is a member of the Bonati Spine Institute, one of the surgical team. He's Chief of Pain Management and Anesthesiologist, Dr. David Hirschauer. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Hirschauer. You know, we know you see so much with conscious IV sedation, and there's so many problems when people first come into us because a lot are hooked on opiates, aren't they?
Opiates are a terrible, terrible problem that these people that come into us many times have been treated with drugs because they have no other options.
Correct.
Some of these people have been opened up 2 to 6 to 7 times, and they get to a point where the surgeon says, I can't do anything anymore. Right. So typically they gives them 2 pieces of paper. One is for oxycodone. The second is for a psychiatrist. And say, enjoy the rest of your life.
I don't think these people understand the mental despair they put these people through, because to tell someone there's no hope whatsoever and then send them to a psychiatrist that's going to put them on pain pills, and basically they're telling them it's all in their mind, they're not suffering from pain, and these are people with legitimate spine problems.
It's really sad. The addiction to opiates, if you're going to be put on oxycodone, Oxycontin, you are going to become addicted to it.
Right.
You can't help it. It's not that you're a bad person, but your body becomes accustomed to it, and it craves it.
But doesn't it make their depression worse? Because then they feel lazy, they're incapable of taking part in their family and doing their normal tasks. We hear it all the time.
I had a patient this week that's a guy about 40 years old, and when we're in surgery, okay, we talked about this earlier, that we're awake but sedated.
Correct.
Okay, and sometimes with the medications we give, they can become a little lubricated. And this patient was telling me about how the oxycodone, Oxycontin, affects his life.
Right.
He can't work out the day that he's going to do it. And, he realizes if he takes it, he's not going to be able to exercise.
Sure.
If he doesn't take it, then he's going to be in pain.
Right.
And so he's got this, decision he's got to make. It's a terrible thing to realize that, I'm going to suffer today if I don't take my meds, but at least I can enjoy some activity that I'll somewhat try to participate in.
How hard is it to break that ugly cycle? Because so many people come in and they are hooked on these pain pills, and when they leave, I think we've done a rather great job of getting them off that dependency.
Absolutely. And, remember that the people that are addicted to it in the wrong way, that they do it for pleasure, they're probably not going to come to us because they know if they come here, we're going to fix them.
Sure.
And they're going to have to go off it. But so let's assume the majority of the people that come to us, they absolutely want to go off it, and they all say that. And it's a tough thing. It's scary for them because they do want to come off it, but they also know if I don't get that medicine, maybe I'm going to go into what we call the withdrawal.
Right.
And that is not a pleasant picture or anything good to go through. They suffer. So we assure them that we're not going to cold turkey their meds. We understand that as physicians, we can't do this to these people because withdrawal could be potentially fatal.
Right.
So we give them a plan of action on how to withdraw from it.
Okay.
And, these people are happy to do it because they want to get off it. But, somebody's got to fix them first.
Yes.
And that's what we do.
Doc,
Right.
I've always heard that for these kind of really, really strong medications, that for people who use it recreationally, it makes them high. But for someone who's injured in a car accident, that the medication doesn't have that effect. It deals with the pain, but it doesn't give them that feeling that...
I think you're very right, Jeff. That's not what we see. That's not what we experience, that people that come to us, they don't get a high from it, but they have to take it to live their life. Right. They don't enjoy it. They wish they weren't on it. It's not a pleasant thing. As this patient said, it's ruining his life.
Right.
And, you see that they look at their clock, their watch, and they go, well, I got to go. I got to take my pill, or I got to find my wife. She's got them, and she doses them out, things like that. And no, they don't take it because they like the high. They take it because their body is accustomed to it, and it craves it, and it has to. They have to get it.
Is it a long process to wean a patient off who's been dependent? What do you do?
When you have somebody that is motivated and is on the medication for, I hate to say it, the right reason, but they're on it because of pain, not because they want to get high. You can easily come off this within less than a month. If you want to speed up the process, I'd say a couple weeks. But if you try to do it within a week, you're probably going to have some symptoms. Now, some people are bound and determined that they're going to come off this stuff within a few days. And those are ones that they may not feel that well. They may have some nausea. They may have some shakes. But by all means, within a month, you can come off this and you return to normal. You see these people that have been with us that, their eyes are dull, okay? And we see them come off their meds and their faces light up. It's just a totally different person.
It's like their excitement for life has returned because now they're not living a life just laying around. They can be active participants.
No, it absolutely dulls it dulls your sensorium. Yeah. It dulls your perspective, your expectations.
It can ruin marriages. I mean, we've heard it all. People on the brink of suicide. People on the verge of divorce and some unfortunately having gone through divorce because it's ruined their families.
No, absolutely. Divorce rate. We have seen patients that have come to us and maybe we did them a year ago and we come back and the spouse has left.
Yeah.
Because, we haven't completed the process yet.
Sure.
And, the spouse finally just gave up.
Yeah.
That's sad, but it does happen. You're absolutely right.
Such an important topic. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the program again, Dr. David Hirschauer at the Bonati Spine Institute in Hudson, Florida. Well, that about wraps things up on this segment. If you have any comments or questions, contact us at the number below. You can tweet at Dr. Bonati using hashtag American Medicine Today or hashtag AMT. We would like to hear from you.
The preceding program was a paid presentation for American Medicine Today. The information and opinions expressed are solely those of American Medicine Today and are not the opinions of the station, its affiliates, management, or employees.